Welcome to Coding the Cinema. Today I'm reviewing Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the unofficial pilot for the popular TV show from the 90s, and it's on, it's on the Criterion Channel. There's a whole list of witch movies, and I did not expect for Sabrina to be on there. In fact, I didn't even remember that there was this TV movie pilot made, so I had to check it out again as an adult and see how much I liked it, because this series was something that I would have seen a little bit of on and off as a little kid. And I'm going to be honest, I sort of enjoyed it. The story isn't a complicated one. It's Sabrina's 16th birthday, and she's about to figure out that she has witchy powers. She's living with her two aunts, and they're witches themselves, and they have to kind of help her to understand things a little bit better as they come up. And there's her cat, Salem, the black cat, who eventually talks to her. But that's kind of almost secondary to the teenage drama of her being in this new place, fighting a Mean Girls style fight with Katie, the sort of Regina George of that school. And she's in love with a boy who is played by Ryan Reynolds. That's right, Ryan Reynolds was in this. And there's another guy who, is like the more eligible, decent young man, and you can kind of imagine where all of that goes. So, Melissa Joan Hart really carries the movie, I would say, for the first, almost third of the movie. And I was a little bit thinking that I would have to almost just give up on it, and because it's so slow, but not in the just so uneventful and so dull as some of the exposition is built in the first 30 minutes. It doesn't have the excitement from the characters. Even Ryan Reynolds is a little bit of a dud. It's just not compelling stuff at first. I remember I've gone back and I've looked at Power Ranger episodes, and those things as dumb and as poor as some of that is aged. They're so full of energy, and they're a great joy to watch even as an adult sometimes. But that having been said, when it actually kind of starts getting to be her birthday, and then some of the witchiness unfolds, then you have a movie that I think is much better. And the way that the movie incorporates its mythology about witches is so smooth and natural. It's as simple as, I almost called her Clarissa. Melissa, because Clarissa explains it all. It's as simple as Melissa kind of making up a fun rhyme, and then maybe her track shoes go a little faster so that she can win a race. Or perhaps she's playing a prank on someone. It's innocent, wholesome stuff. Nothing here goes too dark, although toward the end, there are a few more serious teenage tropes that are touched around in a way that an adult can understand what the movie's not saying, but maybe a kid wouldn't be put off by in terms of the content being too mature. I appreciated that. Melissa Joan Hart, definitely supernatural and easy in that role. Just really kind of a soft touch that I think you have to have for something like that. You don't want a movie that's going for this style, this tone, to get too bogged down in sort of a mean-spirited evil kind of vibe, and she avoids that in her performance. I would have, the cat, this is a small thing, but I remember, and someone that's actually seen this series, correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember the cat having more quippy, fun little one-liners or something. And the cat doesn't say much in the movie. It's kind of sad, actually. The cat is something that I think the show developed later. And that is another criticism I could have of the film, is that you can tell it's sort of a pilot because there's always that feeling that something's being held back from the audience because we don't want to pull out too many of our little tricks, in this first TV movie pilot. So that holds it back a little bit. Her best friend, Sabrina's best friend in this movie, is pretty entertaining to be around. She's a lot of fun. And the enemy, like I said, that's the Regina George kind of character, is pretty vicious, but not so vicious that it's like, it's not like Rachel McAdams in that movie. Nothing like that. There's this little part where she goes to this little witchy world, and it's like, tonally, it's so good. That's what I like about this movie. It's like, how do you make this film, and then you keep like the balance of fun, humor, and then introduce witchcraft, and then they even have a book, like a witch book, and it's not like overly scary, so it's not off-putting. It's just a very natural way to embrace this material. As a younger kid, I would think, or as an adult looking back on it through that nostalgic lens. So if you enjoyed the series when you were younger, or maybe, I don't know, maybe even like you have a small child in your life and they might actually enjoy this. I don't know. I think that they would like the little pranks that Sabrina pulls. I think that there are this is really why I think I like the film quite a bit. There are good life lessons in there that are told in an organic, natural way. Like how you treat other people, how love works, how relationships work, not just romantic love, but like how people show respect to each other is dealt with pretty maturely. And for how silly this movie can be at times, like there's some real heart to that. And I think the movie comes from a good place. I really do. I just want to touch again on Ryan Reynolds. Like, he's just not that. He looks like, he looks like one of the NSYNC characters, and there's this other guy that does. They definitely have that like 90s boy band vibe, but they're not. I wanted more out of Ryan Reynolds, and I didn't get that. Yeah, just a real disappointment, huh? But overall, this movie for me, if we're talking Letterboxd score, 3 out of 5. Like, very watchable and enjoyable little nostalgic film for me. So that's kind of what I thought about. If you're looking at that Criterion Channel list like I did, and you see that Witches logo, and you're like, oh man, I gotta watch these. You might enjoy it. You might not. But I did. So if you like the content, go ahead, if you wouldn't mind, and hit that like button for me. It does help grow the channel. And if you want to leave a comment, talk to me about the series, or I know there's the Kiernan Shipka series as well. I know nothing about that. So maybe I should watch that. I don't know. In general, I don't watch much TV, but that is sort of interesting to me after her performance in Mad Men, which was a great show. But anyway, let me know what you think, and we'll see you next time on Cody in the Cinema.